Hey guys, Sublord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the final one of these Orc figures from Warhammer 40k. This is the Orc MegaNob with Buzzsaw, if I'm not mistaken. Brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys. This is a mega figure offering from the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys. And, as I mentioned before, this is the third and final Orc, Big MegaNob, whatever you want to call it, figure from the Warhammer 40k line. That was probably the most redundant statement of all time, but you know what? In case you weren't paying attention, you can't say I didn't tell you what it was. So, with that being said, let's get right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at what little this guy has for accessories, starting off with this trap jaw-esque jaw piece, which just kind of sits front of his face here. Not very well, mind you, but it can sit there. It can go in better than that, but it's kind of tricky to get in there. There you go. So we can see him with that. Take that out for now. And then he does come with a backpack, which looks like a big something or other. It's got a, it looks like an axe on the top, I guess. And all these bits and bobs on the back. This plugs into the back like so. And if you're at all familiar with these Orc figures, these backpacks don't stay in the best. You can see this one is teeter-tottering. So I'm fighting to get it in here. There you go. There it is in his back. Leave it off, you get that big gaping hole. And because he really needs it, he comes with a hockey puck display stand with the Warhammer logo. Kidding, of course. He's got these big Frankenstein shoes. Frankenstein's monster. Okay? Those of you who won't let that go. But he's got these big Frankenstein monster-esque shoe feet. He can stand just fine. He weighs about a pound. But, yeah, man, really cool looking figure. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. This is going to be a relatively short review because I already reviewed this guy pretty much 3 times already. But I'll break down the articulation quick since it's been a while. It's been a while. His head is on a double ball peg there. You got to kind of fight with it to get it to do anything, but it will move. Mostly side to side and rotate. I think this is a new head sculpt. Don't think it's the same as the other MegaNob. I guess I could have checked that, but this is a free show, last I checked. He does have rotation in the shoulder, as well as a hinge, but the hinge is very tight, and that's as far as I can get it to go right now. It does have that rotator cap thing, too, so you can spin it around. He does have a bicep swivel, sort of somewhat, right below the elbow there, so he can swivel about, but he does have the working piston on the back, as you can see there. If I don't block it with my thumb, it does go up and down in there. He does have a swivel at the, I guess, gauntlet, and that's your lock for the arms. These buzzsaws do pop off, this one particularly, but I might not have it in there all the way. In fact, I don't think I do. I think it's in there most of the way, but not all the way. So I might have to heat that up and try and pop that on later. But his waist is on a ball joint, really tight. I wish a lot of the McFarlane figures had a ball joint this tight in the waist. His hips can kick forward and back a little bit. Again, they got these piston thingies on the thighs there. He's got a thigh cut. Unlike most McFarlane figures, the big, ugly-looking monster guy has a thigh cut, so that's interesting. The knees bend about a right angle, which is good for a big guy like this. And then I think his lower leg will rotate too, but you can't get a lot out of it. Yeah, see, on this side it works. On this side, not so much. Could also be straighter than this side. Yeah, it is. That's why. That's why. And then his ankles have big ball hinges. You can rotate them here. They do hinge. sort of. You really got to grab a hold of that. Let me try and grab it here. And I don't want to go back. Let's try pushing it forward. There you go. Pretty much one notch forward, maybe two, if you're lucky. But not a ton of range out of that. And it is a pretty stiff joint too. So luckily he's not going to be doing any shelf dives. He does have an ankle rocker. And then for some reason they gave us big ugly arse toe hinge. But it's tight and doesn't have a ton of range anyway. So it's not going to pose a problem, I don't think. There you go. There is the Big Mech, the MegaNob with the buzzsaws in his ugly arse glory. Pretty cool looking figure. And I'm going to keep this review short and sweet for you and just bring out our two regulars for comparisons. Because again, I've reviewed this guy like 3 times now. So yeah, I don't know how big he is by now. And I'm late to the game with this review. So I'm pretty sure most people got a Mythic Legions figure lying around. So there he is with Brother Mandibulas. He freaking dwarfs him. And then we got the MK11 Spawn, who is shorter. I mean, I expected that, but you never know with good old Al Simmons nowadays. But there you go. There's the Orc MegaNob with Buzzsaw, alongside our two regulars there for your size comparison. Figured this was good enough. Compared to regular Warhammer figures, he's obviously going to be bigger. Although, compared to the Marines, they might be the same height as him, because the Marines are pretty big and chunky in their own right. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and of the 3 Orc Big Mech MegaNob, whatever you want to call them, figures from the Warhammer 40k line, brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys, I'm not 100% sure if this one is my favorite or not. As much as I love the trap jaw looking jaw thing and the buzzsaws, I do have another Orc Mega figure with the trap jaw looking jaw thing and 2 different weapons, one of which is articulated, the clamp or claw, whichever you prefer. That said, I think this one is a little bit better than the first Orc figure I reviewed from this line, which is just known simply as the Orc Big Mech, although that one has a Frankenstein aesthetic that I love, so I'm a bit torn. That said, if this one has a different head sculpt from the, I think it was Big Shuda MegaNob figure, then I do like the head sculpt on this one. The roaring head has a lot of character and emotion to it, and I dig that a whole heck of a lot. So maybe if I were to kit bash these guys, I can make the perfect Orc figure from Warhammer 40k here. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.